Hello and welcome to the third or fourth, I want to say fourth, update log for Acheron Raiders United. Anyways, so a lot of changes have gone on since the last update. I actually recorded this update before when it was a little in the rough, and then straight up forgot to compile it and upload it. So I figured I'd just redo this log. Screw it, why not? So as you can see, we've actually had some rescaling things going on. The Raiders are much smaller. The Acherates, rather. The tool nodes, tool chest is incredibly smaller as well because they're not going to be using tools bigger than they are, although those tools are still a bit big, I'm not going to lie. We have a drill cart, which is now present, and this is a fully functioning thing now. Yeah, we got get driver and evacuate vehicle. And we have our Acherites, which we can now click on correctly with proper selection code. And just get one, and we have evacuate unit here. There's currently a bit of a bug going on with Raider mode in the mouse, absolutely just going apeshit. I'm not really sure what's causing it, but we'll have to take a look into it later. It's not really entirely clear what could be causing it, because it should be creating a continuous image index, but it is not doing that. I'm not really sure why. Now, anyways, what we do have is also the tool node, and it warps in units. We already did this part, I'm pretty sure, but now they actually fade in properly because they fixed the alpha bug that was going on. It was using alpha in terms of a scale of 0 to 255 and not 0 to 1.0, which is bad. Likewise, you can evacuate Raiders and they fade out with equal clarity. And we have an oxygen bar ticking, which will currently do nothing, but what's going to do inside this car? We can request to get a driver like this, or we can simply right-click on the car, which works out quite well. And it will be the first to assume any task it can assume, over Raiders that is, quite simply because the armor is better than the infantry. It has more firepower, and it gets the job done better and easier. So why not have it assume the task automatically, and save a bit of time. So we're just going to go and take this car and drill through everything, and also adjust the rotation and location of the grader accordingly. However, we do have some slight offset issues, and I'm not entirely clear on what they are or where they're at. It was working a lot better back when the Raiders were slightly oversized for the car, but now it's becoming apparent that there's like probably within less than about 1/6 error margin depending on the exact angle of the car. So we're just going to get this dude out of the car, and we're just going to go ahead and evacuate the car for materials. And yeah, we are just placing everything down, so what we're going to do is actually get a gen station going. And that's going to require, 2 NGOs and 15 pieces of ferrite ore. So, yeah, the boys have the work cut out for them. I will actually probably save myself a bit of time, just disable digging for now, so just go grab all those goddamn pebbles. The truck was worth like 25 ore on its own, so that's pretty good. Wow, we're going to be here for a while. I'm probably also going to add some upgrade requirements for progressing in tiers in a bit. We'll have to update the has building function, and I'll have to make the upgrades actually do something. In the case of the gen station, I don't think it's necessarily going to have upgrades. I'll probably just leave it without upgrades because there's not really any logical reason to give it upgrades. But yeah, whatever. Right. And what else we also have is that these buildings look freaking huge now, but you know, the scale's passable, so I'm not going to sweat that too much. Let's see, we also have, I think, the ability to evacuate buildings. Yeah, probably, and it'll probably drop all the materials it was built out of, or is being built with if it's mid-construction. I think that was in the last update as well, but figured I might as well run it back over. And we're currently going to lose this mission because there's not a lot of resources and the level's pretty spaced out, and I probably need more test room oxygen. I also used way too many men, so I kind of lost a bit of efficiency there. But, yeah, we would have won in virtually any other circumstance. If we had a car, definitely. But yeah, that's why I say the actual oxygen mechanics probably shouldn't be done at the current oxygen level from Zero Tech. Or at least with more obvious resources. Right, but that's just like a tiny gripe at this point. So what else we have? Probably, I think we changed the size of resources accordingly, as you can probably tell already. But I think the metal bars are about the same size because they're actually perfectly fine as they were. No damn thing wrong with them. Oh right, and the oxygen generates enough oxygen for 8 men, gives you supply for another 10, so we will warp a couple men. And And yeah, that'll get our entire crew of dudes working and start smelting down all that delicious metal. And we're dealing with all the backlog now. And yeah, that's basically all that needed to be done. These metal ingots are maybe a little bit big for the men, but not so bad that you're just gonna jump out and you're gonna hate the game for it. Might as well enable some more digging. Let the boys have some fun. I might end up updating this button code with some garbage about the upper sections, because the upper sections are actually look like they can be clicked, but they cannot be clicked. And that will require some really barf-tacular code to clean up. But the code's already barf for checking the priorities, which part of the priority button is being clicked. So, yeah. I don't really give too much of a shit about that one. And yeah, as you can see, we're just going to town and fixing everything. And generally, everything's just working as intended. Oh, I forgot to demonstrate some code over at the drill truck. So I guess I'll reboot real quick and do that. Right, so I'm back here with the drill truck again. What we can do is we can actually order to drill the wall now that we have the drill truck. That was not highlighted last time, I'm sure you noticed. We can even right-click the wall where normally we couldn't. And it will take about 20 to 40 seconds, depending on game speed, for this wall to be drilled. So that's quite the undertaking. I think we also have some other code we're slowly setting up for how vehicles are going to function in terms of ground speed, what tasks they can assume, and the same code that lets the vehicles differentiate which tasks they can and cannot assume, and only pick up orders they can assume, also allows them, or also can be used in the future for all other pawns, such as, say, Acherites. And the Acherites will be able to determine what tools they can and cannot perform with tools, or what tasks they assume they can or can't, what tasks they can or cannot assume based on tools. That's just like a tiny technicality. I'm not sure if I really even want that. Like, it was a feature back in the original Rock Raider, sure, but this isn't exactly meant to be a carbon copy. There are significant differences by now, and probably will continue to be throughout its production. So, carbon copying, if I don't agree with the philosophy, no reason to do it. Not a goddamn ounce. I don't know, we'll figure out what's going on sooner or later. I like the idea of tools, but that means when you mouse over the Raiders, they have to have little tool symbols for what they have, they have to assign caps, and I would possibly consider shoving in like a metal cost for handing your Raiders tools, but then casualties could be a big issue if that was the case. I don't know, I feel like there should be a huge rework of that mechanic in some way, shape, or form. I just haven't decided how yet. Anyways, that's all for devlog number 4. Vehicles, rescaling, shitloads and shitloads of bug fixes, and new UI for all the infantry units. I'm going to be working on adding the Rosen pad later, and the ability to add, or to teleport in cars, probably including the small hauler, I think it's going to be called, which will just be a car that picks up lots of resources at once. Now let's program how it knows when it's full, and iterates an entire inventory, and gets a random offset for each thing in its trunk. Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. An absolute goddamn mess, I'm sure. But, sounds like it'll be a pretty worthwhile cause in my book. So until next time, WCCC signing out.